Yes, yes. Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another session of ScatterYarn where we discuss anything that relates to people and what they do. I'm your guy, Toves. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing the good boy syndrome or the good boyfriend syndrome. There are some people that don't want problems in their relationships, and there are some ladies that want that. There's some ladies that do not want that. So we're going to be delving into that world. But before we go into it, joining me to scatteryan on this episode are my guys. Please welcome back Johnny Boy. How you doing, Johnny Boy?
Thank you so much, Toves. I'm happy to be here. Nice meeting the guys. Thank you for having me for this episode. Looking forward
Thank
to
you for
it.
joining. Thank you for joining as well. Thank you for making time for us. And as always, welcome back, Mr. Ade. How are you doing, sir?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Energized and energetic for this episode. So yeah, thank you very much. And Mr.
Excellent. Nice to be here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And as always, Mr. Morris, the traveler, how are you doing? How was your escapades
Uh,
this week?
no escapades this week, so I've not been traveling at all. But I'm good, very well, thank you. It's good to be back again.
All right, all right. So let's jump straight into it without wasting much time. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe, like the video, and share as well. Okay, follow us on our social medias and all that good stuff. All right. So, to the panel members, everyone, quick question. Is argument and little debates essential in relationships? Is it good for a healthy relationship? Your own perspective. What do you think?
I would say yes, because if I don't argue with you, then something is wrong. That's what. Because remember, it's two individuals from two different backgrounds, opinions, and everything. So definitely must have conflict. So if there's no conflict or argument, then something is wrong. That person is probably pretending, which I don't like. So if you're pretending to me, there's no point to be in a relationship with you. And also to the bad side of it, when we argue, they can always be like, you can always make up in the other room. So that also adds spice to it.
What if they're the kind of people that don't just like conflict? They don't like argument.
They're not meant to be together then. Like they say, opposite poles attract, right? So I can't be a nice person, I be a nice person. That's a boring relationship right there.
Right. So if I come to the other guys, I don't know if you've seen this show on Netflix, The Ultimatum. Right, there is this version of The Ultimatum Queer Edition, and there were this Asian couple. The they're lesbians, obviously queer edition, so they're lesbians. And the one that is more masculine does not like any conflict. Once you start raising your voice, she just leaves the room, walks away. She doesn't want any arguments, none at all. So there are, there are people that are like that. I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyways, but the rest of the guys, is conflict essential for a healthy relationship?
I don't think it's essential, but I think it's part of it. So if we say it's essential, that means it should be there. So I mean, conflict can be avoided. So if you communicate effectively, then essentially you might avoid a lot of unnecessary conflict. So yeah, I think it should be there, but it doesn't have to be there.
No, okay.
Or is it the other way around?
It doesn't have to
But
be there,
either
but it
way,
should
yeah.
be there. All right. Tie the rope to the goat. Tie the goat to the rope. It doesn't matter. Anyone. Right. Right. And Ade.
Conflict. Again, I think I agree with Mr. Morris on this one. I don't think it's essential. If you guys blend enough your personalities, then maybe there might be no need to fight.
Hmm.
But maybe this is a question for another time. But if there is, what do we mean by conflict? Are we talking just why did you leave the pillow there? You should have fluffed it more. Or are
Yeah.
we talking about we are calling 999
No, 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 no.
at
That,
the
that
end of?
one, that one is aggression. Now I'm just mean like little
Okay.
Exactly.
misunderstanding, little tips, little what's the weather today? I thought, why did you bring the umbrella? Those kind of those
Yeah.
kind of conflict.
So I would say it's essential, but
Oh,
if it comes up, deal with it.
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think it's essential anyway. But like I go with Johnny Boy just because you're from different places, different households, so you're raised differently. You have different likes, different wants. So at some point, it's going to clash. Your upbringing is going to clash. Your likes and wants is going to clash. And so, unless, like Johnny said, you're pretending, then maybe there's something wrong,
I,
or you're
I,
conflict averse.
I don't think, maybe because I personally I don't like conflict. I don't like conflict that much. So, but I have always found a way to carefully avoid it as much as possible, or maybe I not really avoid it, to deal with it in a way that I don't really see it as a conflict. Yes, there might be disagreement, there might be, because it's an expectation that you would have opposing ideas on certain things, and so if the expectation is there, then I don't really see it as a conflict, because I feel like conflict is giving it a negative connotations, in the sense that it's like, oh, yeah, it sounds to me, it sounds a little bit, it's just what it is. So let's just not call it a conflict. Let's just call it a
You want that?
pleasant disagreement. So, but yeah.
Am I the only one? But he's breaking up.
Morris, we lost you there for a second.
Yeah, I think it was my network.
No.
But no, you go upload later. You go everything I talk. Let's just move on past that one.
What if you don't upload?
You go upload. No worries. See, this is me avoiding conflict.
All right. Right. So our next story takes us to a situation whereby maybe someone needs to write a book, how to spice up your relationship without arguing. Because there's this lady in Ghana, let's call her Nana, because that's the most popular female name. She's had it with her boyfriend. Why? Because her boyfriend does not like to quarrel with her. She likes some drama. She is very, very spicy. She wants some little confrontation to get her going. But he, as much as possible, tries to avoid every type of conflict. Instead, he gets her what she wants, even what she doesn't want. He even buys it as well for her. Like he's giving her a car, he gives her monthly allowance. He even rented an apartment for her. And each time they try to have, even if when she tries to create a situation, create an argument, he just apologizes anyway, and maybe just buys her a bouquet of flower to apologize, even though he didn't do anything wrong. And she's just had it with him because she just feels that is weird. That cannot be real. So my question to you guys is, first of all, what do you think about this? Like, do you think the guy is faking it? Do you think the lady is just a drama queen and asking for too much? Or what do you say to this? I'll start with Morris, the non-confrontational person. So if you're in this relationship, do you think she's over-exaggerating or she needs to be with someone else? Type of thing.
I think no. I think the boyfriend probably has this thing whereby he sees things like quarreling or confrontations like that as a sign of an unstable relationship. So he possibly views relationship that doesn't have much of that as the ultimate sign that you understand the person and you're able to be more harmonious in terms of you're quite respectful. So I don't think he sees it that way. So or it could be just his personality. Some people tend to avoid conflict a lot. So if that is his personality, then it's who he is. Because I wouldn't really say I'm quite similar to him in terms of my personality, because I could argue till tomorrow, especially when I want to make a point. But most of the times, in my case, I like to avoid anything that will stress me out. So if it's going to stress me out, then be it that physical, emotional stress, then I just don't want to do it. So maybe he sees it that way in almost every occasions. Obviously, it's good to have a balance whereby, yes, you can avoid conflict, but some you could deal with, but maybe he's just doing it too much. And you know what they say, sometimes too much of something could be bad. So maybe I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here for him, but I don't think he's boring or anything. I think it's probably just his personality.
Fair enough. And Johnny Boy, what do you say to the question? If that was you, what would you do in that situation? If your girlfriend basically thinks you're weird because you don't want to argue or don't want to have any kind of confrontation, first of all, is the girl wrong? Is the guy right? I don't know. What's your perspective?
From me, I was just thinking a few minutes ago. I was thinking, is it the guy trying to avoid conflict because probably he's a physical type of, probably if he gets into conflict, it might become physical. Maybe that could be another reason why he tries to avoid it. Maybe he doesn't want to become physical with her. If that's the case, then I kind of sympathize with him and understand. But at the same time, if I'm just accepting everything you say, sometimes he even said he apologizes to her, which is, come on, man. Even when she's wrong and you apologize, that doesn't even make any sense. So, and as a guy, you have to be an alpha male. ladies respect guys that are alphas, whether you like it or not, right? Guys that are like domineering. Most ladies like that. So I think the lady sees him as a simp. That's the way I see it. The lady sees him as a simp. And I'm very sure she cannot marry him. That's probably why she's crying out now. So in as much as she has spent all the spending he's made, she's not going to end up marrying him because that's lacking. She's looking for a man, and probably the guy is a boy man. So that's just my take on it.
And do you agree with that take, or do you disagree with that take this time?
I think it's harsh. Today, I want to be a bit more in my naive bag. So I think it's just like it's it's just what it is. It doesn't want drama, no stress, no drama, no bad energy, no, all of that. So it's just keeping it simple. For he reasons best known to himself, he doesn't want conflict. Yeah, I think it's really insightful what Maurice said, that maybe there's something underlying in that. It could maybe be getting physical also, like Johnny Boy said, but who knows the reason? He just doesn't want it. And she does. We need to know more before I can really put my foot down on this one.
Right. Right. So I'm just going to piggyback on what Johnny Boy said and what he just said right now. Do we think that how society views like gender roles in terms of masculinity and femininity has a role to play in this situation? Because as Johnny tried to allude to, maybe she feels that a man should be dominant, a man should be able to like defend himself, and she's not getting that. And he probably thinks that happy wife, happy life. So whatever you say, I will just say yes. Do you think that those kind of cultural norms and perspective has a role to play in this story? I'll start with Maurice on this one.
Oh, I most certainly do. I think so. The fact that if we go back to what the storyline said, it said something about even when he's wrong, he apologizes.
Yeah.
So it could be that, yes, he wants peace to reign. Yes, he wants her to be happy. It could just be that he's just maybe punching above his weight, because that's one thing I've come to realize in men that, well, in most relationships where a partner feels like they are reaching. So remember, in some relationships, one person would be, well, some people have said that one person is always reaching above. So essentially, you're dating somebody that is maybe more
Above your
prettier
level.
than you, or more, yes, or it could be, financially speaking. So I think what could be the case here is that he's very much invested in her and the relationship, that he lets go of, that societal expectation. But yes, societal expectation comes in because from the woman's point of view, the reason why she views that as a little bit weird is because the expectation is that as a man, you should be able to speak for yourself. Even when you're wrong, you should be able to hold your stance and say, I am wrong, and not just have to go with the flow all the time. So from her part, definitely there's that gender stereotype, societal expectations coming into play. But I think also that from his point of view, the thing is, we don't know them. We don't, so
We're
I
just
can't really
assuming
say
and giving
exactly
different
what it.
perspective. Yes, yes.
Yes, but I think that it could be that, because I know somebody. There's a well, I know a friend that was dating some girl. She was really, really pretty, right? So, and she's one of those people that when you see her, you'll be like, man, how do you get that girl and stuff like that? Because we know that he's definitely punching above. So,
Mm,
but when you look at the dynamics of the relationship, from my point of view, it feels like he essentially would let her have a way with most things. And that's a way of maintaining some sort of, securing your base, in the sense of, if I keep her happy, she'll be with me. But in this case, maybe that's not the issue, but that seemed to be a turn off for her. But
right. So kind of like he's probably think like she's like a trophy girlfriend, maybe above his weight, and he doesn't want to offend her, so that he keeps her.
probably
Hmm.
that could be one. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And Johnny Boy, what do you have to say? What do you think in this situation? Do you think like societal roles, societal norms, and gender descriptions as that's been described by society has a role to play?
Yeah, I think society plays a big role because what are the roles of a man? A man is seen as a protector, provider, right? So I'm guessing from the lady's point of view, she's probably looking, oh, can this guy actually protect me? A guy that's always apologizing even when I'm wrong. and I'm probably just expecting the guy to like scold her or something, and the guy instead of scolding her is apologizing even when she's wrong and she knows she's wrong. So the guy's looking like, oh, if this guy can do this to me, so that means if we go outside and something is about to happen, can he protect me? Can he defend me? So I'm guessing that's probably what's going through our mind. So definitely society plays a role. And also I can guarantee you that if she gets married to him, it's probably going to lead back to our previous story last week, whereby she's probably end up cheating on him because she's probably going to be looking for that part of a man outside. So it definitely plays a role.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, also I wanted to touch on, past experiences as well. And when we are still speaking about family, what's it called, societal expectation, when you've been in an environment whereby this sort of attitude in terms of conflict is normal, maybe you've seen your parents argue over time, your past relationship, there's always some form of argument. So, what that could do is it could lead to a situation whereby you then feel like this is normal. So, there must be some sort of drama or some sort of argument in the relationship. But that's all based on past experience, family system that you've grown up with, and that could contribute. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's always what's right or how it should be. But that could be one factor that's at play here.
Fair enough. And Ade, do you think that the lady is kind of associating those kind of quarrel and conflicts with passion? That if the guy is not like arguing with her, if the guy is not trying to defend himself, she's feeling that maybe he doesn't really like her that much. That's why he doesn't want to fight. That's why he doesn't want to quarrel. He's just trying to get along with the relationship and hope that something magical happens in the future. I don't know. What do you say?
Tough. Well, with the other gender, I'm not one of them, so I can't comment on why they do the things they do. But I have heard, I think similar to what Johnny Boy said, a lady once mentioned to me once that, yeah, she will sometimes just stir up problematic situations just so that she can have this kind of conflict with her partner. And I'm like, why are you doing this? She said, yeah, it's really important that if he doesn't get that aggro, then this guy, something is wrong. So maybe it could be conditioning, it could be, who knows, biology. I don't know why these things happen. But
Telenovela.
it could be, yeah, it could be. So who knows? But yeah, or it could just be a shit test, just to see what kind of person he is and how he can handle that pressure. And Johnny's analysis of, yeah, if you can't deal with this small one at home, what more if something big happens? Do I think that is a good test of a man's character? No, because the contexts are always very different. But so yeah, it could be anything. Let's take this one.
Fair enough.
Also,
Yeah.
yeah, you made mention of the word passion there. Some people see that, like, if, for example, if certain things don't, if you're not really bothered about it, then chances are wouldn't really be that emotionally invested in it. So you wouldn't even bother to waste your energy or time to react to certain things. So it could be that she's saying that, okay, this is not important, or I am not that important to this person, or why is he not passionate about certain things that you should be? So that could also be, it's like, okay, the interest is not there per se. So maybe that's one thing. It's like, dude, you need to act up. So that way, it shows that you're emotionally invested as well. So, um,
Right.
yeah, that's another factor I thought.
So if we slightly move the story, if we try to move away from the story and just ask a general question, right? If some people feel that their partners are not trying to respond to conflict, do you think that there's some kind of communication barrier somewhere in how people um, view communication? Because some people want to communicate with that passion or heated drama and argument. Some people just like to fight. I don't know why. But do you think that there's a kind of misunderstanding on what communication is, or like I don't even know how to phrase the question, but that's what that's.
Yeah, I think there are certain people, and everyone has a different communication style, right? And for some people, they are more expressive, or they, how would I put it, confrontational. That's
Yeah.
just how they are. That's how they communicate. So when they talk, they tend to be more expressive. So if she's that kind of person, which it seems like, right? And you're now with someone else that their communication style is totally different, then it is possible that the person who has that expressive communication style will possibly feel unheard in that relationship. So they might feel like this person is just trying to avoid conflict. And so I think communication style is very important here. And that's why it's very important if you're dating, because they've been dating for what, like 6 years. So you should know your partner that well. You should know their sort of communication style, how they, express themselves. So yeah, I think if you understand the person's communication style, then obviously you should be able to communicate more effectively with them.
I would say there's a lack of communication. Just because, I mean, if you're avoiding to speak about it, how you communicate it just by being silent, you're not communicating. That's not communication. Communication to me is actually you guys speaking with each other and stuff like that, hashing out any differences you might have. But when you're keeping silent, you just walk off. That doesn't, to me, that's you guys are not communicating well. So I think there's a lack of communication, definitely, and that could be an issue down the line, big issue.
But remember that not all communications are verbal, right?
True.
So
But
if
he does that
you
all the
are,
time. That's the problem.
if,
Based on what she's saying, he does
yeah,
that because he avoids it.
For
So
6 years,
he's not
just buying
communicating
gifts
to
every
me.
time.
Yeah, he does that every time.
well,
He is,
it
he is,
will
but
be
it's not the one that she wants to accept, isn't it? She doesn't want to
okay.
accept that.
So the thing is, we don't know how he relates to other issues. Let's not make it about her, because if it is specific to her, then that's where I think the problem is, right? But if it is how he is in general. So let's say at work, when he goes out, you never see him quarrel. We never see, so you would know that it's a personality thing, and you should understand that this is my partner, this is who they are. That way, you then know how well to deal with them. You're essentially, so you understand how they react to certain things. Some people are very non-reactionary. So no matter how much you poke at them or throw words at them, they would not react. They literally would just look at you and probably just walk away or something. But yeah. But if he's like that for everyone, then then I think it's okay. But if he's not like that for everyone and he's just that way towards her, then maybe it's a sign of some underlining, I don't know, thingy that they need to work on in terms of their communication with each other.
I think I agree with all what's been said so far. And maybe it's just not a talker. And they shouldn't crucify him on that. But yes, I think, like Johnny Boy said, burying issues or not addressing issues, in the end, it can go and blow up into something else, or it might cause one partner to begin to look for things somewhere else. At the same time, is it really necessary to, you know, test people in this way? I mean, what is her aim from causing all these conflicts? Because it seems like she's going out of her way to do them. Like
You don't
Maurice said, she should. Uh huh.
No,
She.
go on. You were saying something. I just wanted before I forget. It
Hey,
could
go.
be the adrenaline rush. Trust me, some people derive that because when you're engaged in conflict, there's this adrenaline rush and you can get addicted to it. So if you're used to having that all the time, then you just want to get it somehow, whether it's from a conversation with your loved one, and also that mix that with passion. It could be a little bit exciting as well. So, but yeah, carry.
Please go rock climbing. Don't start
on.
throwing rocks in the house. Come on.
Uh,
I'm done.
mm.
Alright, fair enough. And before I ask my next question, is there any perspective that you'd like us to discuss on this story before?
And we have, the truth about it, we have stories, different stories about stuff like this. Because I was reading the other day, there was this lady, she has been married to her husband, I think, for like 15 years. And for the first like 10 years, the guy was a cheater, serial cheater. She was always crying. She was always crying because the guy was always cheating on her. And the guy, according to her, found God, changed his lifestyle, became a very just as this guy, good guy, doesn't fight. And she came out crying that she misses the old him because they were having fun when he was cheating. And I'm like, what do women really want? As in, like, seriously, you were crying when he was cheating, and you were praying that he changes. Now he has changed, and now you're crying that he should go back to because you miss the thrill of probably him cheating and coming back to apologize to you and stuff like that. So it's just a weird conundrum.
Interesting. So in this situation now, let's just play a little game. Which person's side are you on? Are you on the boyfriend side? I'll call that team pillow talk. Or are you on the girlfriend side? I'll call that team pillow fight. So which side are you on? Team pillow talk to resolve conflict, or team pillow fight to try to stir up passion?
I'll go with pillow talk. I mean, I do understand that, yes, when you're in, having that, um, a little bit of conflict here and there, it could present an opportunity for people to grow, because obviously when you walk through issues, then it then helps you to grow together better as a couple. But at the same time, there are so many ways to address and resolve issues without, being too confrontational. So that pillow talk might be where I'm leaning towards. But yeah.
All right. And then Ade.
Ah, pillow talk and what? Pillow fight.
Yes.
I'm going to go down the middle, hybrid. In fact, I want both. Pillow fight plus pillow talk equals
You
pillow
can't have
wet.
both. You can't have both.
It's either or, so you have to choose one. That's why it's a game. You have to don't change the rules.
Yeah, pick one side. Don't play. Don't be on the fence.
Yeah.
Pillow wet is where I am. Leave me alone.
Then Johnny Boy, which side are you on?
Definitely pillow fight. Just cause I'm looking at it that they've been dating for like 7 years, if I'm not wrong. So I'm seeing that probably is leading to marriage, and probably since it's leading to marriage, I feel conflict is important. So you got to see how your partner reacts. Probably she's trying to test him too, probably to see, okay, is he the aggressive type? Is he the one that
Well,
beats? Yeah,
if
continue.
you're trying to test somebody, that looks to me more like an attention-seeking sort of attitude. What are you testing? Yeah.
No, but
I
if I'm
don't know.
trying to get married to you, I would like to see how you react to certain situations too.
Fair enough.
You
Yeah,
understand?
but this situation, shouldn't they come naturally rather than it's just
Like you said, the
being.
guy is always probably she tried to make it natural, and the guy is always avoiding it, like running away. So now she's trying to force it. Since he doesn't accept the natural this, and now it's time to force it. So I'm pillow fight, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely pillow fight.
Maybe he just say, "Can we just fight about anything? Can we
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
about
I mean-
anything?" Literally, it's like, "Oh no. Yeah, you know what? Here's some money. Go and buy yourself a nice."
Just
Chanel
imagine
bag
being
or something
in
like
a marriage of like probably 40 years and you guys don't fight. It's no offense, it's gonna be boring, man. And
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
the guy is always
Obviously,
apologizing.
But
That's
kids
the
now-
part I don't like. Guy is always apologizing,
but
which
that's
I
the
don't
thing.
like.
But personally, I think boring relationships are quite healthy. Well, not boring boring in this sense is quite healthy. Boring relationship, a lot of the time when I hear that, I always hear healthy relationship. What do you mean boring? Like, what's your definition of boredom? Like not arguing. That sounds like heaven to me. I don't know. I like my peace of
You
mind.
think
So
you
anything
think
that is going to raise my blood
even the
pressure,
disciples,
I'll just, try to avoid it.
even I just want to go
Go on.
spiritual here. Even the disciples of Jesus Christ also argued. Well, all of them were not in agreement. They also had disagreement. So, I mean, there's bound to be disagreement because, like I said, they're two different individuals, right?
The disciples are humans like us. It doesn't mean
So-
that they are perfect. So
Yeah, but like,
I don't know. But that's just what I think, though. But yeah, I do understand in certain cases in terms of the intensity, the excitement, when it comes to um, that you know confrontation, that argument. But at the same time, um, I feel like you just be who you are. Yes, if you want to argue or find a way to clear the air, talk things through, yeah, that's fine. But don't force it. You shouldn't be looking for fights or argument where there are none. So that's just what I think.
Right. So I'm going to follow Johnny Boy's stream of thought in terms of if
Okay.
it leads to marriage. So let's say it leads to marriage,
Hmm.
which means and hopefully it leads to like children as well. Like, how is the guy going to deal with those kind of conflicts when the children want something and she opposes, and is he just going to always give everyone gifts? Sometimes
that's the
those
problem.
those kind of conflicts are kind of healthy to know where they stand.
because
to
you
know where
guys
they can
grow,
agree
that's
on.
the point of conflict. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just avoid everything and buy gifts to everybody. So how are you going to
Yeah.
are you going to support your children and then support your wife at the same time? Like, yeah,
or your children do something bad, and instead of scolding them, you walk away. You walk away and say, or tell your mom, or tell the mother to do the. No, come on, man.
But what we are doing here, we are now assuming
Yes.
that may carry
Yes.
on until.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Literally, yes.
I mean, if you've been dating for 7 years, I mean, I'm guessing it's leading to marriage. You're not going to date forever, right?
Yeah. I just want to look at it from the woman's point of view as well. Yeah, from the man's point of view, he doesn't want to, deal with conflict. I understand that. He wants just calmness. He just wants peace and all of that. I understand the man's point of view. I just want to look at it from the woman's point of view as well. Apart from the passion side, maybe she just want that little rile, that little to get her going, and the guy
To
is not
bring out
giving
his
it to her
manly
type of
side. I
thing.
guess she wants to see the man in him. That's what I feel.
So which take us
So
back now.
until someone gets smacked down.
No.
someone
You
get
see that it doesn't have to be.
whacked.
It doesn't
see
have
what-
to be physical though. We're not talking about physical. That's what we're not talking about
exactly.
physical here.
Yeah, just a little,
But
just to get the heart pumping, Just
Yeah,
a
we're not
little-
talking about.
little adrenaline boost.
I'm not an advocate for physical violence. No. I'm just talking about like an argument, back and forth and stuff like that. But no physical. No.
Yeah, so you guys can understand each other some more, type of thing.
Yeah.
How you react, how angry you
Some
get.
screaming,
Because
no throwing of
all those kind of
anything,
quiet
just screaming.
guys-
It's okay.
we've seen news stories of people that execute their wife or their spouses because they've had it enough. They think the other person is always shouting and they're quiet, and then one day it just explodes. So sometimes you want to know how they actually react when they're
Exactly.
angry, so you make a decision.
Right there, before you enter the soup, you cannot come out from.
I disagree though, because some people have, I don't know, maybe a way of managing their anger in a way that it doesn't result in confrontations and
6 years, no confrontation. Not even
Come on,
one.
that's a
6
long time though.
years.
7 years.
And whenever we say confrontation, like fights, just little disagreements. Just
He
argue
runs.
with
That's
this
that's
one.
the part that got me. He runs away from every.
I want to
form
go
of-
to this
that's-
place. No, I don't want to go to this place. I want to go here. This is where we are
Exactly.
going. I just want just that. At least one time, just once at least in a relationship. I want you to
6
wear this
years?
outfit.
Come
No,
on, man.
I'm wearing this outfit. Just something like that. 6 years.
Ah.
What kind of
The-
conflict avoidance is that one? I need someone to
because
teach me
because
how
it's gonna
do
trickle.
that.
It's gonna trickle down to the kids as well. That's another point. Just it's gonna trickle down to the kids. How are you gonna resolve conflict with your kids? Are you gonna run away from it?
Yeah, how do you defend yourself? How do you stand up for yourself in real life? All those kind of things, So
How do you
it's
defend
just
a
be-
woman?
it's
How do you
even
defend her
deeper than
outside?
just relationship as well. Yeah, how do you defend her if someone is shouting on?
Because
her
I guess
or
that's what
how
she's
do
looking
you-
at too.
Oh yes, bros. Yes, bros.
But that's very different though. It's like telling them, how when I don't think there is the contexts are very different. The fact that he's
Yeah.
not raising up that side of himself in the house doesn't mean it won't turn into Voltron when he's outside and someone tries.
But she wants to see a little
Yeah.
bit. She don't not all.
So-
She probably just wants to see 10%, probably or 20%.
And
Just
that's
shout.
where 5 years later,
Shout or
she
something.
will not say. He will not take him to court. He will not say he was being very.
Me, I'm a strong advocate of if it's not broken, don't fix it. To me, I don't see what the problem
But
is.
to her,
But
she-
it's
but
looking
to her,
broken.
it
That's
is
why she's
broken.
coming out. That's why she's coming out. It's broken.
And then
finds
maybe
it
they're just
weird.
not. Yeah, it's weird, but sometimes weird is good. It doesn't have. No, she only finds it weird is because it's something she's not used to,
Used
and she
to.
did not expect it. So maybe she has to change her expectations. That there are possibly a lot of people like that are just different. If it's not something that she's genuinely comfortable with, then she might want to reevaluate her
All
stance
right,
in the
She has to walk away.
relationship.
She definitely has to walk away.
Let's do a little. Let's go into a little bit of empathy now, right?
Okay.
Someone you're in relationship with for a long time, always just buying you gift, buying you gift, buying you gift, buying you gift. Not
Okay.
arguing with you, not disagreeing with you. Everything you say, yes, I agree.
Yes.
Just keep buying you gift. If the person's not happy, you're not happy with the person just
Mhm.
buys you gift.
Even when you're
Come on.
wrong.
I cannot be with that kind of person.
Exactly.
But she's,
yeah,
she's probably there because I don't know her. We don't know her. I'm only assuming she's probably just there because of all those financial benefits. Just
Yeah,
holding
which
on.
is a definite choice.
But
that
at the
she
same
can
time,
make.
she wants to transfer it into
Yeah,
more.
but the problem is that if
passion,
they get
more
married,
relationship.
she's gonna cheat. That's the truth. So what are you saying? She's already telling you that she's gonna cheat.
Don't know that one. We can't
No,
go there.
who-
Yet. Even
yeah,
in my
she's-
assumption, I can't assume that yet.
No, we can't just
I mean,
jump to the how did we get from this into cheating? No, no, no. I mean, personally, that's why I say individuals are different. For me, if you what it says is that you're, I mean, like you're too you're accepting of everything. You don't have your own opinion. I don't know. I personally would like to think that I wouldn't date such a person because I would know by my initial communications with them, so I wouldn't go into a relationship with them. Because if you don't have your own viewpoint, you could strongly articulate your viewpoint, even though we are disagreeing, right? But you're making your point known. But it's not like it's so, I don't know. Is this conversation we are having now? Is it argumentative? I don't know, because to me this is normal. I don't know if this is what you're
I'm even
This
referring
I'm
is
even
what I'm
going from the
referring to.
aspect of
This is what she
argument. That's
wants.
why I'm going to argument, because it seems that he doesn't argue,
This
he
is,
just
I think
walks
this
away.
is
So
this
there's
is
not
just
even
even what
argument.
she
That's what I'm
wants.
saying.
Just a little
There's no
debate.
argument. That's what she's saying. They don't even argue. Like he just walks away with it. He just like he just walks away. So that's weird to me though. That's a weird
Yeah.
behavior.
No, I mean, if as long as it's not, it's not like this whole conversation we are having now. Yes, it could be seen as an argument, but we are not really taking it like a fight. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
casual sort of like
Yeah.
conversation that we're having, which I think is normal. You definitely have that in a relationship. And if you don't have that, then I don't know. I mean, we are all making our points. Nobody's offended. Nobody's like
Exactly.
walking away or exactly.
That's
So
what
I
she
think,
wants, and she's not even getting that. Even this
Yeah, she's
basic
not
one, she's
getting
not
that.
even.
She's not getting. That's what she's complaining.
If we're to
He's
put
running
this,
away from that.
if we are to put it in Premier League terms, the guy is a Luton fan. He's happy to just be in the Premier League. Whatever happens, happens. And she's an Arsenal fan. She wants the trophies. She wants everything. Type of thing. So
Actually, even Luton
that's
is doing
one way.
good. He's a
And
Sheffield
since
United fan. That's why we didn't go.
yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
I know there will be lots of people that will be very comfortable and happy with such a person, like the man. So one man meets another man's
Man's
poison.
poison.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not compatible in terms
Compatible.
of their personalities. There are some people that would happily take the opportunity and possibly ride on the man, and maybe take advantage of him and stuff like that. But the fact that she's not seeing it that way, and she also tells more about her personality as well, that okay, yes, but I mean, some people would more than jump on such a person, but I mean, a little bit of conflict is good, but
Yeah.
avoiding altogether could be a sign of something deeper, maybe trauma or something that he hasn't dealt with, and that could come up later and bite them in the ass in the future. So I would say just be cautious. I mean, in as much as I'm trying to play devil's advocate for the guy, uh,
Yeah. So to round. Okay, go on, Ade. It seems like you wanted to say something now.
You're mute. Okay.
Indeed, I did want to say something, but this made me cast my mind back to that Alpha Male podcast where, so maybe sometimes society might have conditioned people to, oh, what women want is a soft, yes, yes, I, yes, ma. So that kind of soft guy. So maybe he's really inculcated that and he decided I'm going to be the most candy floss guy ever.
Yeah.
So maybe he's overdone it, and
He's
actually
overdone it.
that's not realistic. That's not what real life women want. So that's the issue.
Fair enough. And just like the other podcasts we've done, just to round it up, if you're to write the ending of this story, if this story was a telenovela, how would you rewrite the ending of this story? Or how there's no rewriting because we don't know the ending. So how would you write the ending of this story? I will start with Johnny Boy this time.
So I'm going to be positive on this one. I would say he starts getting into conflict with her, and then she sees what she's looking for, and then they live happily ever after. Because 7 years is not 6 7 months, so they've definitely given so much in relationship, both of them. So I mean, it's only fair it comes to a happy ending.
Fair enough. I'm going to go the other way. Since it's a telenovela, I'm going extra. She breaks up with the boyfriend, and then she meets someone who always wants to argue. All he wants to do is just argue. Anything that she says, he argues. Just keep arguing and arguing, and does not even give her money this time. She meets a broke person that is passionate, gives her what she wants, but then the opposite of the guy she's with. I'm going to write the ending of that.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I'll just tap into yours and say, and then she realizes that sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side, and then they find their way back together. And
No, I'm going to change it. It's a telenovela. She tries to go back, but now it's with someone that actually appreciates him, and now she's
and
sad.
then she poisons the person, and then
Right, Adi, I will write the ending of this story.
Okay. Ade, how will you end yours?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I'll go with Toves one. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Or no, actually no. I'll stick with what I had in mind originally. One day she comes back from work and it just, shows his inner Voltron. Yeah. No one goes to jail, but at least she sees the Voltron side.
All right.
She just sees him morphing, like mega morphing, but he doesn't actually shoot any can.
All right, fair enough.
Yes,
So, to round up, we'll say the key takeaway is that balance is crucial. Healthy disagreements can strengthen relationship, but constant quarreling is not necessary. Okay. So if you've liked the episode or enjoyed our conversation so far, as always, please give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe if you're new or you're yet to subscribe, and until the next episode, use your brain. SCFR.